My name is Amira Stubbs. I am currently a graduating senior at Alabama A&M, majoring in criminal justice with a minor in psychology. My discussion topic of today is if prostitution should be legalized. Prostitution is an act of inappropriate sexual behaviors with someone that's not technically your partner, but it's with someone that you feel the desire to do sexual things with in exchange for money and goods. Prostitution first started during the Louisiana Purchase when sex work was kind of popular due to the fact that tenants in New York City could not afford rent at the Corliss hooks, which is kind of where the term hookers come from. According to sources, there are over 3 to 4 types of prostitution, one being a brothel. A brothel is where prostitutes or sex workers line up in a building or an establishment to where they interact in the acts of sexual behaviors or activities. But instead of being on the street, they're in a building. The next one is street prostitution, better known as being on a strip or being on a block. So this is where prostitutes will typically walk up to a car or a consumer and basically ask them for sexual acts or ask them, if they would like to engage in sexual acts in exchange for money, somewhere to stay, food, or anything that they really typically need as a necessity. The third one being a escort. Escort is typically where a prostitute or a sex worker is used in exchange for having a body in an entertainment facility or entertainment setting or an event. Is just to simply be escorted around, shown off as, an attraction to engage in, socialization into just in exchange for money again. So now let's discuss the main topic. Should prostitution be legalized or not? Should we as a society be able to see a woman with little to no clothes walk up to a car and access for sexual activities in exchange for money? Will we as a society be comfortable with witnessing people walk up to us not knowing our title, not knowing what we're going through in order to have sexual favors and with money? Or should we allow women to have their freedom and receive money in the best way that they know how? It is a very controversial topic, which is why, research is kind of like, some research is on the side of being legalized and some is not. And that's due to the fact that, either way, it would kind of be like taking away the freedom and taking away the rights of women or people in general. So one source, Human Rights Watch, made a point that legalizing prostitution makes workers very subjective to abuse, which is like assault, rape, and murder. There's not really any true laws that protect women if they are sexual workers or are prostitutes. There's not even laws put into place to protect us, honestly, especially African American women. So, is it okay to, again, allow those people? Is it okay for people to have their freedom with their bodies in exchange for money, or should we just, just stop them from having the outlet? If a woman's right to keep a child is revoked and a woman's right to utilize her body or the protection of kids aren't taken seriously, why as a society do we believe that they would take prostitution seriously? Like, why do we believe if we were to legalize prostitution, why would we think if we were to put certain laws into place to protect these women and just like protect them from being harassed by people in power, normal people on the street, customers, or themselves, and it should be legalized? And also, it is only done for personal use, and also because the economy is continuing to go up, along with expenses. It's very hard to get a normal job, so people are only doing what they know best, which sometimes is working for sexual, working as a sexual person and being sexually put out there in order to fulfill those needs, whether that's living expenses, whether that's just eating, or protecting their child or providing for their child. the cost of living is steady going up. So what do you expect people to do if that's the only thing that they know how to do? Another thing, prostitution is still like a sensitive topic, and I still believe we should have like a sense of sacredness, a sense of privacy, and a sense of just secrecy when it comes to exposing our bodies, especially as women, because we're already taken advantage of. So why wouldn't people take advantage of us more if we legalize prostitution? Today's only state that legalized prostitution in certain cities. Is not all areas, but it's legalized. Do I believe that prostitution should be legalized? I feel like street prostitution should not be legalized, but women should have the right to be in brothels or be an escort, because it's not really putting yourself out there like with little to no clothes, or not having a sense of like morality or morals or ethics or classiness to you, but it's like it's literally making your money in the best way that you know how. I feel like we shouldn't really choose to make those decisions for sex workers, but in my opinion, sex workers should honestly just be done in private and not in public. And if it is in public, it should be like certain. At the end of the day, I believe people should do what they want with their bodies, but we should also still have some source of protection and privacy, and an act of privacy and a safe. Today's sources come from Human Rights Abuse, CSUN, the Business Insider, and just different forms of articles that I did find on CSS, which is a CWS Defense website article.